that why do we have so many motels?
We're a college town, so the parents can come visit their college kids.
Yeah, I'll buy
I
that.
think
No, I
it's like
won't.
the one up at Greenbrier is gonna be low
Well,
income.
we got
So,
That's-
understand something.
Baptist where you go,
Huh?
When they built it.
No, what it is called government housing.
You know, the apartments on the airfield.
Government housing.
And they give them-
Controlled access.
There's real nice ones.
When you look at these house trailers, they all look the same. Something is coming for the city of Conway to pass an ordinance where a guy can destroy a mobile trailer park. My father-in-law couldn't have, when they had Langley, couldn't do a bunch of stuff down there because of the zoning. All of a sudden now, you can do it. All of a sudden now, they're manufacturing homes that looks exactly the same as government housing. What does that tell you? When this company goes in and invests all these millions of dollars to get a plant that used to run distribute cocaine, now they're doing all this thing to build all these trailers that look the same. What is that telling you? Something's coming.
concentration camp.
Something is coming. When you start seeing the small independent grocers being blocked out, and now, remember the old days when you walked into Sam's the other day, when the old days look around, you didn't walk into Sam's. You had to show them your card to get in the door. They realized something.
Costco still makes you.
Huh?
Costco still makes you.
Really?
If you walk in and you let people see all this stuff, because you go to Walmart, now you go to Walmart, you look at the stuff at Sam's, the meat at Sam's, and the meat at Walmart, which one's better?
Sam,
Why?
members mark.
Because of membership. They're getting you used to presenting this car. We're so used to going to Sam's and using electronic. I still go to Kroger's, go to Walmart or somewhere. Like, we'll go to, our routine is so routine. We'll go to Sam's. We'll check out. We'll go to Aldi's. What?
I'm so used to my skin.
I'm wanting to use my app at Aldi's and how to check out at Aldi's. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is so convenient. Why don't I have this everywhere? It's being programmed within inside of us that we're living in a cash-free society. Why is cash being eliminated? Cash cannot be controlled. When you eliminate cash, now you've controlled. Kids are not used to cash. They're being raised up in a society. All I'm trying to tell you, I don't want to get into doomsday crap. I don't care about. My point is that if we do not have an awareness, this is the whole point of this, is to raise an awareness. The desensitizing of policemen towards civilians, the disrespect of civilians towards policemen. I think it's my grandson yesterday, I'm not going to tell you actually his name. He called because he had to get out or doing something that was going to go to the bakery because Paradise was open. And when Paradise was open, what I mean by that is that they was going to be closed for a few days, and they had all these cookies and stuff that don't give away, correct? Paradise, the gates of Paradise was thrown wide open. All the kids had to do was walk in and grab. I would have loved that as a kid. That's paradise. You know what my grandson told one of the grandchildren? Because he had to get out and move something and go somewhere else. You know what he told him? You're racist. But I'm like, what? I'm racist. So I pretty much hate everybody. But the thing is that black, white, it don't really matter. I'm the racist. I don't like nobody.
No, you're an equal opportunity.
Hater. I'm an equal opportunity hater. True. I go with that. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I'm not a racist. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I'll buy that one. But the thing is that this whole race thing is a manipulation to draw lines. Whites against blacks, divide line. Whites against Hispanics. The thing is that I have met some great people around Lance that are Hispanic, some workers. And I've been around some white people that I wouldn't give you a dime to work around. The point is that there is this huge manipulation that is happening behind the scenes right now. We have to ask ourselves on the last point, because we've grown up, we're bringing them out. The last thing is that we have to teach them, and this is a summary of it, is the love and service of God. But did you notice it happens after all this stuff? Once you are brought to it, you see it, but yet they don't understand love. How many people are still in daily communication with someone that they met in elementary school? You are? Daily?
Give or take it.
Okay. Give or take that. Okay. How many people, raise your hand in. Just keep it up. Okay.
Great.
3 people out of this group right here. Look, boy, you don't count. You're only 12. How old are you? No, like 11? Yeah, you definitely don't count. You're going to need 13. My point is that you see how small a group is. You know how many people that I am in? I don't remember the last time that I talked. Well, actually, I talked to one person in a text that I grew up with as a child because I sent him a lyric to a song, and I probably talked to him once, maybe every 3 to 6 months. That is the oldest person that I talked to. In other words, now I remember, Artie, he's probably the oldest person that I talked to from my childhood. But that's family. But I'm talking about friends. The friends that I once had as a kid, all these relationships, the girlfriends and all that bull crap, they're all gone. They're not part of my world anymore. They're just not. And so the thing is that, but at the moment, it was so important in my life. I thought, and we've all said, I hear people say, that's been around each other for like 2 weeks. I love you. I love you. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
You don't love them. I hear a kid get off on love you, love you. Like, what? Do you even know what that means? You don't know what that means because you ain't been together
It's
long
the
enough.
word. That's all it is the word.
It's a spell. It's a spell that they've used to disarm you. The thing is that love is so much more. I didn't understand it. I'm just now 60-something years old and starting to understand what love is. Starting to understand it. I'm just now starting to understand, and I've been in the service of God for a long time, but I'm now understanding His love because I'm trying to learn to love other people, which is tough for me.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is that it all happens in all this steps right here. These are the things that we should be raising our children to be. But yet if we're not doing it, how do we expect our kids to do it? If we would love God, because we say, well, if you love me, you'd want to stay home tonight. You'd want to do this instead of going out here. How many times have we ever heard that crap? If you love me, you wouldn't go do this. If you love me, you do this.
You don't
But,
love guilt somebody.
huh?
You don't love guilt somebody.
Exactly. But the other side of it is that we have standards with which we believe. So, naturally, we would all believe that a byproduct of love, let me rephrase it, necessarily a byproduct, but an indicator of love, would you say is faithfulness? Is love? Okay. So then, how faithful are we to God? Faithfulness is placing another person over your will and your desires, right? Do we place God above our will and our desires? Are we faithful? Do we honor? Honoring is a thing. If we honor somebody that we love, so we care about how others view them and how we view them. We won't, if I honestly, like I told my daughter one time, you are a byproduct. This is my wife. You may not like it, but you're not going to be dishonorable to my wife. Because you're liable to get choked down. Because you're a byproduct. And that landed the whole byproduct thing about, the rendrings and the beef and the whole 9 yards. I said, you're just a part of all this. You're honoring. These are all signs of things. But we have to ask ourselves this question. Are we really walking in the love of God? And then finally, walking in the love of God creates like the role of a man. The role of a parent is service to the family. By extension, if it all starts at the church, and this is where we grow at, the thing is that we should be involved within the church. There's ways to show the temple, because even God said, He said, you want to know why you have all these troubles? He says, look at my temple. Look how you take care of my temple. Scripture, check it out and see. He says, you have all these beautiful things at home. He said, but my temple is not set up. He was talking about the physical temple, but he was also talking about the eternal temple that's in each and every one of us. How well do you take care of this temple inside of you? How often do you defile this temple? How often do you set this temple apart and say, look, this is temple time. I've got to separate this thing. I've got to start living and acting. My life has to be a temple. Because Scripture says that you are the temple. Am I wrong? How you treat the internal is an indication of how you treat the external. If you do not have it in your heart and in your mind, you're not going to have it physically. You see people who do things out of compulsion. The Bible says, do not give under compulsion. Do not give. And that's why you don't hear me. I try not to tell you to be under compulsion. I don't want to put you under compulsion. Because compulsion is, I have a lady. The lady I'm doing this little work for. She said, well, I'm interested in church right here. And I said, here's our idea. If you're interested, I said, you probably need to watch a video. And if you watch a video, I said, I've never seen one. I said, I ain't going to watch one because I freak myself out by looking at me. I couldn't even imagine listening to me. I tell you honestly, I'd probably go nuts. It's just what I am. But the thing is that I said, this is what you do. I said, if you want to know, she said, well, we're looking for a small church, because she told me her horror stories and all that crap. And she says, we're just looking for a place because we know we need to be in church. I said, well, ma'am, I said, the easiest thing to do. I said, we've got a guy who videos all this stuff. I said, go. I said, because I'm not a preacher. I'm a teacher. I try to teach you things.
Rabbi.
Yes. And actually, Rabban is the first level. I'm at level 1. But the thing is that I said, you can watch the video. And I said, then you can make your decision if you want to show up or not. I said, that way you may figure out, like, oh, heck no. I said, I'm not going there. It's got to be psycho. And I get it. I left it at that. I presented it, and then I walked away. I literally walked away. And later on, she said something about it. I said, ma'am, understand something. I said, I am not using and I will not use God to sell you on a job. No, I'm not doing it. I'm guilty of a lot of things. These people who use Christianity as a means and a way, and I've known Masons especially who've done this. They put all these little symbols on. They talk about being Mason because, again, they're establishing this link with somebody else. And, hey, I'm trustworthy. I'm all this. I'm all that. It's a way of disarming you to prepare you for the deed you're taking advantage of. There was a lady, and this is all close on this. I remember I was writing her an estimate. I was at Landers, David. And I had a really cool office at Landers, and I had it made. I loved my job at Landers. Actually, it was pretty interesting. But she was in there, and I talked about God. I always talking about God. And it was just, man, we talk about everything. And as I'm talking about it, as I'm writing her estimate, just chit-chatting and talking about different things. And I handed her her estimate. And she says, now I understand. I said, do what? She says, now I understand. I said, what is it that you understand, man? She said, now I understand all this God talk. Look at this estimate. I said, let me see that, please. She hands it to me. I take it, AJ, and I tear it up. I throw it in the trash. I said, I don't want your business. She said, well, I just thought, I said, no, ma'am. I said, I'll tell you what you basically was thinking. That I was using all this God talk to prepare you for this estimate so I can get your business. So that if you think for 1 minute that I am using God to sell this right here, I will prove to you. I told my friends, the director of work at Scotch Rite, it was rumored that I was sucking up to try to grow and try to get all these titles and all this thing. said, if you guys think for 1 second that this is why I'm doing this, I said, I will walk away from everything. Say the word. Tell me you think that I'm doing this so I can gain, so I can get this job, I can get this title, I can get this degree. I said, no, I'll quit in a second. Guess what I did? I quit. It's not what I'm doing it for. If I was doing this job for, if I was being a preacher doing all those things, first thing is I would even wear clean shorts. I wear dirty shorts, and you know why? Because if you're looking at my shorts, you're bored. Because I'm a 62-year-old man, and you're looking at my hot body, no, it ain't happening. I'm old. As well, I don't give a crap. I don't care.
Well, you can't change it, so we gotta roll with it.
Yeah, and the thing is that I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to sell you on a concept. I'm here to open your mind to a concept. Because somewhere out of this mix, the next generation has to rise up. I cannot do it by myself. But guess what? If it came down to being just a core, guess where I'd be? I'm still here because I was